And yeah, all okay. Good. So everybody's sitting. So any question from the previous guys? Anybody would like to ask any question? Please feel free to ask. And then we're going to start some of the very important topic. And it's very important to differentiate between a packet filtering firewall, second generation, and the third generation firewalls. Okay. Any questions, sir? Everybody's okay so far?
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Good. Thank you. Okay, Ali, we come back to your question. Thank you. Right. So first generation firewall, which is, I think everybody at the CCNA level, the first generation firewall, we know the packet filtering firewall, where we actually stop or allow the traffic between different user, network, source and destination. Can somebody tell me what are the ingredients or what are the information normally we put in an access list? Okay, guys, tell me what are the information? Okay, source IP, prefixes, yes, Ali, source IP, I want the accurate information. 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, these are the different information we need to put. An access list is a combination of what? Permit, yes. Deny, yes. Still, I don't have the specific answer. I know there is a source, there is two types of access lists. One is standard and extended, but here the talking point is not standard, but only the extended firewall. Okay, so let's say I'm going on the configuration mode, access list, question mark. Let's say I have 100 permit. What is this? What is this, guys? Excellent. Protocol. So number 1, protocol. Then protocols, let's say I selected IP, TCP. Then you can see that source address. What does it mean? 0.0? 0.0 is any. Thank you, Than. And then what else? Destination mask, we can say subnet mask. Wildcard mask. Then what else? Destination. Again, destination is, let's say I'm saying 8.8.8 and then what else? Equal to. Okay, so you can see in access list, there are minimum four. Number 1, number or name, yes, that must be there, permitted to deny, but the most of the things I'm looking for, protocol, source, destination, and port. So minimum 4, please remember that. So protocol, source address, destination address, and the port. Clear? So when somebody come to the security guard, he say, yes, I want to see who are you, where you are going, and what is the purpose. That's an access list normally contained. Clear? So in the packet filtering firewall or the first generation firewall, we already know we're already aware of that. Okay, and let me just introduce you the packet filtering firewall. Permit and deny based on the layer 4 information such as protocol, source, destination, port number. Packet filtering, the packet filtering firewall uses access lists. Okay, and we know the 7-layer application, presentation, session. At the bottom is physical layer. So 7 layers, I think everybody is aware. So the packet filtering firewall most likely work at the layer 3 as well as somehow at the layer 4 as well. Okay, it does not contain the information of application, presentation, or session, things like that, right? So, but there is a drawback of the packet filtering firewall, guys, and that's why the next generation firewall comes in, which is called stateful file filtering. And after that, now application filtering firewall. So let's just talk about what is the drawback. Anybody has an idea? Come on, guys. What is the drawback of access list? Anybody? Anything? Not encrypted? No, it's nothing to do with the access list. It's nothing to do with the access list. Yes, one important point came in: high CPU utilization for the large network. Yes, 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 good. Anything else? Jamshed, what do you think? Come on, guys. Take long. Yes, you can say. Because it goes through every entry. Yes, yes, yes. I think there are few drawbacks. Let me tell you. Number one drawback is, as the network grows up, the access list entries are actually increased, and your input is required every time something goes change. You need to come in and you need to allow the traffic from the inbound to outbound access as well. Okay. Now, yes, and the main problem with the access list, it is not easy to maintain, number one. And also, let me tell you what is the main problem and why the second generation firewall comes into the play. And this is most importantly, I would like you to remember and always keep in mind, and if an interview comes in, things like that, please make sure you give the precise answer. Yes, high CPU utilization, yes, is not easy to maintain. These are very things like common in bookish kind of things, okay? They are not looking forward to hear these things, okay? So be more specific, and actually you need to know, and I'm going to introduce you what is the problem. The access list entry, the next generation, third generation firewall, the first generation firewall, what happened? So let's say you want to allow the traffic between source, between 10, this is the source, and that's my destination. You are going to put an access list here on this interface. So when the traffic comes here, who will be the source? 10. Guys, are you with me? So I'm going to write here source, IP, right? Destination, port. It's a Google DNS server, so I'm saying port 53, for example. Is it clear? So now the traffic is going, when it's come to this router will, okay, say, okay, who is the source? Who's the destination? Port 53. Will I allow permit? Yes, it's a permit. So traffic can go outside. Now the traffic can go outside, reaching here. Now what will happen? The return traffic, guys, return traffic. Think about the return traffic. What will happen when the traffic will come back, when the reply will be coming back from the Google server, which is a DNS server, and coming back and hitting here as well on this interface, what will be happening? Excellent. Yeah, thank you, Jamshed. Stateless. Thank you. That's the answer I want to see. Yes, guys, tell me. Now, who will be the source and who will be the destination? Initially, it was a source and it was a destination. Now, the traffic is coming back from the 8.8.8, coming to, and the destination is going to 10.10.10.1. So what happened during this? The return time, when the return traffic will comes in again, this router will challenge in the access list. Yeah, because now from the routing point of view, your destination and source is changed. Initially, this was the source and this was a destination. Now, the return traffic, when the reply come from this guy, this will be the source. This will be the source 8.8.8, and in the access list here, if there is no matching source 8.8.8 and no matching destination 10.10.10.1, what will happen? Come on, deny. Good, thank you, Dams. Packet drop, thank you. So it's mean when you create an access list, you need to think about traffic going outside and the traffic coming back into your network as well. So effectively, you need to have two entries. You got it? Okay, think it like this. So it is like, think it like this. You joined a company. So this is your first day. And the first day, obviously, they don't have your database. They don't have your name in the database. They will might be give you a temporary pass. And in the temporary pass, they take your name, your number, your time you comes in, who you're going to see, which department you're going to see. But later on, let's say you go for the lunch, maybe you go for a tea. Every time you go outside, when you come back again, you need to maybe put the name again, and you need to show the entry again. And if you satisfy their criteria, then you can come in. So that's why it's called a stateless firewall, because access list is called a stateless firewall, because when this guy who is in the trusted network, who is in the LAN environment, he goes outside, he come back again, the return traffic need to be allowed again, because firewall is not maintaining a table where he is keeping a track who is going out, who is coming in. You know, it does not maintain the state table. It does not have the database. Clear? So that is the drawback of stateless firewall, packet filtering firewall, because the packet filtering firewall does not know that, okay, you know, this guy goes outside and now he's coming into the network. Even he was actually gone from my trusted network. So that is a drawback actually, if you think about it. Clear? Any question about packet filtering? Ali, you clear about the packet filtering now? Stateless firewall, everybody, please. Okay, good, thank you, Ben. So now, yeah, makes sense, good, thank you. So now, if you talk about the next generation firewall, what happened in the stateful firewall? So previously, stateless firewall, and now we're talking about the stateful firewall. And in the stateful firewall, while the packet filtering only look at the individual packet at a time, using stateful packet inspection, firewall are able to retain the packet until there is enough information to make yes or no. Stateful firewalls are still used in there, but that is starting to change. Anyhow, so what happened in the only thing we changed, or the behavior in the second generation firewall, when the packet is initiated from 10 going to 8.8 port 53 protocol TCP UDP, is it first packet, is a second packet, third packet, it actually create a table which called a state table. So what is called a state table. It maintains the state table. It put the information about source, port, protocol, flags. You know what I'm talking about, flags? Anybody know about flags, guys? What do you mean by flags? Yes, Sam, I'm coming to your questions. Anybody knows about flags, please? Flags are, guys, sync, Sam, I'm coming back to your question. Just wait for me. Yes, TCP flags, please. Yes, Sam. Yes, Chaminda. Yes, so you can see these are TCP flags, or TCP flags in the TCP header or TCP protocol. You can see there are many flags. So each firewall actually maintain the table. In the table, it put all the kind of flags here. Let's search the flags. You can see, yeah, urgent, acknowledgement, push, reset, sync, fin, all these flags. It maintains the table. So now you can see we have this second generation firewall. Yes, so second generation firewall, is it more, intelligent as compared to the first generation firewall or not? What do you think, guys? Yes, so now we put more intelligent into the firewall. And also another thing is now it maintaining the database. When the return traffic come back, what will happen? Return traffic. What will happen, guys? Ali, tell me what will happen. It will know good, because now it has the state table. Okay, he said, okay, it's going from 10.10.1, going to 8.8. Now it is because the packet was originated from the trusted side. Now I have a table entry inside. It's mean return traffic will be allowed. It first concerns the state table, and if the state table has the entry, the traffic will be allowed and pass through to this guy. Clear, guys? So yes, it maintained the state table. Clear? Okay. However, now a question for you all the time. Now this is my question. Question is, if this guy itself initiate a first packet and there is no state entry, what will happen? Drop. Thank you, Ali. So definitely drop, because there is no state entry, because the packet is initiated from the untrusted boundary going to the trusted boundary. And if there is no state table, no entry, no packet will be going. However, only if there is an access list. Then the second thing comes an access list. So you need to allow this traffic on here. If you allowed from here, then of course it will be going through. But normally it tend to be if the traffic is coming from the untrusted network to the untrusted and there is no state table maintained, of course the firewall will drop it. So which firewall you think so far is very good or better in other sense? Good, stateful. Thank you, Ali. So now you can see there is a question from Thames. He said, normally we don't see two-way ACL entry to, so how does the return works? Thames, it depends upon what you can say, I can say position of the firewall or the router where you are putting the access list entries. Okay, maybe you have allowed on your side, but the other side it is already allowed, or vice versa. It is depending upon the position, but normally for the access list you need to make sure it is allowed both way. And yes, it is how it is. I don't know how you're. Normally we don't see two-way ACL entry. So yes, it is how it is work, depending if the traffic is coming in and going out. If you apply inbound and outbound, because if you apply the firewall entry access list here and here, if you only allow inbound, it will just check the packet inbound when the outbound, when the traffic is leaving the network. Okay, but if you also have an access list here, which is when the traffic is entering the network inbound, then yes, you need to apply an access list entry here as well. But if you only allow that, now the direction is important. If there is no access list here, of course, there is no need for a second entry. It is already open, because the direction of the access list can be inbound or outbound. You got my point? Guys? Yes, thank you, Thames. Yeah, so it's a direction actually. Okay. Now let's come to our topic. All these theory we cover so far just for this, because your Palo Alto, unfortunately, is a next generation firewall. Okay, now everybody is talking about the next generation firewall, and let's discuss about what is next generation firewall. So I can just give you an example before we can go. Question from Jamshed: by default, does return traffic is allowed? Yes. If you talk about stateful firewall, yes. If the traffic is initiated from your trusted network, yet it is allowed. Yes. Yes, by default it is allowed. Yes, because it's leaving the network boundary. For example, when you talk about Cisco SA firewall, it has a different concept of interfaces. So yes, it is allowed because it refers to the state table. But however, if the packet is generated first time from the outside to the inside and there is no state table, it will be denied. Okay, Jamshed, you fine? Thank you. Okay, guys. So next generation firewall, what is this? I can just give you an example. If you go to the airport and you're traveling maybe for a nice holiday in Turkey, for example, I don't know if you want to go to Turkey nowadays, but before that, you want to go to Turkey. Let's say you're a very nice place, you want to go and you book your holidays. So you have a visa, you are allowed to go outside, you have everything, they're giving you the boarding pass, you have you bought the ticket, but now what is the next step? So before you enter to the plane, there is another security check. Remember, everybody, where, mostly they said, if you have this kind of bottles or this size of bottle, please throw it out. Otherwise, in your especially hand carry, or in the ladies especially, they have a wallet, and if they have this kind of thing, they are not allowed to take that on the plane. This security check, even you have valid visa, even you have a boarding pass, but what happened? You have to go to the security check where you take off your jacket, your belts, your shoes sometime, and your bag. You have to go through the scanning machine. And that scanning machine, the other side of the person who's watching that, he's actually scanning the items inside. And what happened normally, if that machine give you an indication, that bag is suspicious, then what happened? They take you separately, and then they open the bag, each and everything, then scan each and everything from your bag. You got it? Yeah. So if you talk about this kind of thing, take this example and apply it to the next generation firewall. So next generation firewall, no, it is, yes, it's a packet filtering firewall. It is a stateful firewall as well, but also it look deep inside the packet as well. Okay. It may be possible that inside the HTTP packet, when your traffic is going allowed, it is a stateful firewall, does just only look the port. That's it. It does not look what are the content of the packet. Is it really HTTP packet, SQL packet? Now the next generation firewall has the ability, have the understanding, or you can see the mind has been developed in such way that they open the packet, check the inherents, inside the packet, the payload of the packet, and definitely check, is it HTTP? Is it really port 80? So they don't just look at the port 80, they go up to the application level. So they are more intelligent because they not just look for the, port. They not just look at the stateful information. They also check the content of the packet as well. So now you apply the example I gave you for the airport onto the next generation firewall. So in the next generation firewall platform, that they combine a traditional firewall with the network devices filtering functionality, such as the application firewall, which is inline deep inspection, DIPI, and intrusion prevention, and the other techniques, SSL, SSH interception, website filtering, of course, as well, cost bandwidth management, antivirus inspection, third-party integration, and Active Directory. So you can see the next generation firewall now, which is a Palo Alto. We will be going through that. So of course, it has the more capability further to look into the packet, and then it makes sure that it is allowed or not allowed. And then in the next slide, you can see nowadays in the firewall, they put, for example, yes, you are opening a Facebook, but it is really a Facebook packet, or is it really Oracle packet, or is it really the Skype packet, or is it really something else, worm, viruses, antiviruses, all these things are now the capability of the firewall. So they not just look at the access list, they just look at not the port number, but they look the content of the packet as well. Any questions, sir? Everybody's clear? Tams, how about you? Tam, Chminda, are you okay? Ibrahim, Jamshed, Kishore, anybody has any question? Okay, but we'll look, that's what we need to look into our course later on. Okay, about, so basically it's including everything. Yes, you can say them. So it's look into the everything, like inside the content. It open the packet and check if it's definitely port 80. So it's not just nowadays, I mean, you will see in the next lectures and next week, hopefully, when we discuss about the application awareness of the firewall. Okay, so for example, now we have the ability inside the firewall, they just not look at the, so they are actually working here. So they're more intelligent as compared to the different firewall. First generation firewall, then the second generation firewall was created just because it has more intelligence. Nowadays, these firewall actually look into the layer 7. So any firewall which is on the layer 7 or layer 4, of course, which one is the intelligent? What do you think, guys? So any firewall who has the capability to go up to from transport to application level, definitely it is more intelligent. Okay, layer 7 is definitely more intelligent. Clear? So please do some research on these things. If you definitely had some time, look at some documentations, and there are many vendors nowadays, or I think every other vendor, Cisco, so Palo Alto, yes, Palo Alto is a layer 4, layer 7, sir. Yes, Palo Alto is layer 7. Yes. Yes. Even you know the HTTPS like this you can see this is the green. Have you ever noticed this? The green signal, or when you go to the browser and you look for any HSBC website, everybody know the difference between HTTP and HTTPS packet? HTTP is not secure, but HTTPS, you can see now, it is secure, this lock. So when you mostly buy on the, yeah, it's a secure socket layer. So it's actually secured website, which means the communication between me, my computer, and the banking server, where I'm going to using my username and password, it is secured. So somebody sitting on the internet, even he see that, he can intercept that, but he will not be able to see what is going on between me and my computer. So this means HTTPS mostly we use for the eBay, Amazon, everybody has this kind of lock, which means that this website is secure. It gives you the nice kind of feeling that my data is secured. But any website like if you go to the BBC, BBC is actually, for example, it's just an information website. It's not a shopping website. But if you talk about the Amazon, you can see there is a green signal. You can see that. That's a secured sign. Even nowadays, the firewall, these Palo Alto, has the capability to intercept everything going on between my HSBC and my server. Even it is so intelligent. It can intercept the SSH and HTTPS packet and actually de-encrypt that. It has so powerful firewalls. Yeah. Anyhow, after this, guys, we need to discuss about few of the very important things, which are the Palo Alto firewall. You can see, you must guys need to know about that. Of course, you are going to, learning about the Palo Alto, but this most important thing is you need to learn actually models, where we see the model. I think I would request everybody, please bookmark this in next coming days. Palo Alto Networks, of course. And in the Palo Alto Networks, once you are here, I'm typing for everyone, please bookmark this, right? So you can see, go to menu, and in the menu, you can see all these next generation firewalls. Next generation firewalls. So there are different models, okay? And but please read through these things. I think these are the same thing. So you can see up to 7,000, 5,000, 3,000. You can compare few of them, 200. In our network, we have 200. And we also have 500 as well. Well, on what is the criteria to choose different firewalls? Anybody? Throughput, yes, excellent. That's another excellent one answer. Yes. Anything else? Number of connection, encryption, decryption, port capacity, how many ports you need. Well done, Ali. Thank you. So, for example, on this firewall is like just a box, PA 200 and PA 500. Maybe this is gigabit Ethernet. This is 10 gigabit Ethernet. These are the number of ports. If you need to add more ports, budget, of course, number of user, capacity, scalability, these kind of firewall, for example, 7,000 is like a data center kind of firewall, or maybe like you can see multi-homing, where you need more and more number of networks user you need. You can see this one. So I would like you to, I'm going to give it to you, this video. Please watch this later on when, yeah, you can see this firewall as compared to the other firewalls is quite big, massive, chassis based firewall, where you can put the line card of different line card whenever you need. As your network grows, you put more cards into it, and you can buy the different services for that. Okay. So it is good to watch and all of these things. Yes, so definitely if you want to compare the few firewalls, for example, two of the firewalls, so you can say, okay, compare between 45,000 and 78,000, 7,800. So you will see these are the features. Performance, number one, app ID throughput is 200 gigabits, and this is only 10 gigabits. Okay, threat prevention, 100 gigabits, 500 gigabits. IPsec, 80 gigabits, 2 gigabits. Connection, session, policies, how many rules you need, NAT rule, decryptions, app override, cost, policy base. So how many zones you can create and how many use zones. So you can see it is definitely dependent upon the budget, the requirement, the business need. If it's a small office, home office, a small office, 10 people, 20 people, or a data center firewall, what are the features? What is the scalability in future? What you need to add? These are all the different things you can see. I would definitely request, for the interview point of view, especially, it is better to know at least the models, okay? And a couple of models. Please actually try to go through them. And you can see there are many things you can compare the different model. Yes, please, Ibrahim, you can go now. No problem. Thank you. Okay, so you can see all these different things are here, different capabilities, different criteria are there. Okay, and this table, if you see that, for example, different model from 500 to 7,000, the firewall throughput. Firewall capability, full firewall capability, 60 gig, numbers of session, 24 million, how many zones you can have, how many virtual router you can have, how many VCs you can have. We'll discuss about later on the VCs and everything. I think the next session, we will be actually going through the management of the firewall, and that will be on the Saturday. But today's session is finished, and we don't have anything left over for today. I hope for some of those who has no idea about different firewall, it was quite useful for you. And